Hello everyone. Good morning and welcome to the 5th episode of VspireLab Facebook interview series. Here at VspireLab, we aspire to inspire your startup journey and also equip you with the necessary knowledge to be successful. Today with us, we have Andrew Yong, who is a founder of 100% Projects, a social enterprise. He's the first social enterprise founder that we have in our series. In VspireLab FB series, we have topics like finding the right co-founder or even firing your co-founder, how to develop a good web or app, and also managing your money wisely once you get funded. So without further ado, let's welcome Mr. Andrew Yong to share a little bit about him and also his company.
Okay, well, thanks for having me.
Sure.
I am from a social enterprise called 100% Project. It's a crowdfunding platform that helps teachers fund their classroom projects. So we help teachers around Malaysia, where if they want to do something extra for the kids, let's say to fund like a robotics class that they want to do. They want to run a field trip for the kids, and if they can't get the budget for it, they can come to us, and we help crowdfund.
This is 100% Projects.
Yes. So you can go to our website and you can see all the various projects that we help teachers with. So we have teachers who want to maybe run a extracurricular activity like an archery class.
Archery, yes, I saw that.
Archery class or some music class. So basically, if you remember from school, and it's it's not just about the content that you learn at school.
Right.
It's about the math and the English, doing well.
It's shaping a wholesome individual.
Exactly. Sometimes the kid can learn a lot from all the other activities that they do. Doing activities with other kids, interacting with the public speaking, and all that stuff.
Maybe they can even find like a life passion while doing all these other things.
Exactly.
Instead of thinking of I want to be an engineer, I want to be a lawyer or something.
Yeah, and sometimes it's about exposing the kid to as many experiences as they can. And then sometimes it just hits them, and then they find out, hey, I
like this, and I'm good at it.
Exactly.
Liking and being good are two different things.
Yeah. So basically, we reach out to the teachers, and the teachers basically tell their story on our platform, and we get the public to help contribute, to chip in a bit. And also because if you ask the really dedicated teachers, sometimes they spend up to 30% of their income, monthly income.
They spend their own money, their own salary. Some even travel deep into the jungles in like Sabah, Sarawak, Pahang.
Yeah, and they could really use a hand.
Yes.
And it's only a small amount. Sometimes the projects can be as little as 1,000 ringgit. Just to get started. And if we all chip in, let's say 20, 50 ringgit, it doesn't take very much.
Actually, we can start with 10 ringgit on his platform.
Exactly.
I would suggest everyone do it right now and do it monthly.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you very much.
All right. So could you tell more about yourself?
Okay, so as you can hear from my accent, I spent a lot of time in Australia, and that's where I got...
Australia!
They don't sound like that. So I spent a lot of my education and my early career in Australia, and I only recently came back 3 years ago.
What did you study over there?
Well, I did a double degree in law and economics.
Wow, like super smart guy.
That was 5-6 years of my life.
Whatever, man.
But I never got to use it, and I basically straight after university I went and started a business there.
Right.
And it was a tech startup. It was quite early on, so it was before all the startup were the rage.
Australian got a different name for a startup.
Well, they ended up calling it startup, but when I started it, people weren't talking about startups.
Yeah, it's like quite back then, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So then you decided to come back to Malaysia?
Yes.
During one of the projects, you came to Malaysia.
Yeah, so on one of my last projects of my business there, it took me to Malaysia, and I spent about a year and a half there, between here and Penang, basically.
Penang,
and it was during the time here that I realized, hey, I can...
Here meaning KL, right?
And KL, Malaysia in general. I thought I could contribute here, I can do something here that could be quite impactful based on my experiences in Australia. So I thought, I made plans to come back here, and I made the move 3 years ago.
Help the people.
Well,
not exactly.
Well, it wasn't just purely altruistic. I just thought that I could be more useful here.
Make a change.
Yeah, I think it's having spent a lot of time in a developed country like Australia, and you come back here, you can see the gaps a lot more.
The city and the suburbs and villages, they're totally different.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
So, do you think that, okay, from the get-go, it's going to be on education, or were you thinking something else?
Not at all.
Health, poverty?
Not at all. So I guess I did start off with the point of wanting to contribute. You know? And so, and when I first came back 3 years ago, I didn't know what I was going to do here actually. But I did want to. I placed myself in opportunities where I could start doing things, doing work for other people and meeting more people out there. And and it so happens that my friends, my circle were in education.
Okay.
And they tell me of their problems in school, the problems that's happening to teachers. And I thought, hey, there's this thing.
Budget cuts.
Yeah, there's this, because I came from a technology background, right? So I straight away
gave a suggestion.
had different ideas of different ways of solving the problem, right? So and basically I met teachers there. I basically hung around with Teach for Malaysia people.
Teach for TFM.
Yeah, TFM, right?
All you guys, viewers, look up TFM. It's something really good, and if you want to support Malaysian education and all that, they should actually look into Teach for Malaysia.
Just as a shout out, if you don't know what it is, it's a program that places fresh grads and young professionals to high need schools around Malaysia. So they spend 2 years teaching in a really challenging school environment as teachers. So basically, I get to hang around with these people, and they tell me that at schools they want to do something extra beyond their normal curriculum, and sometimes they have to pay from out of their own pocket.
It's like exposing the students to something they've never seen before, opening their eyes to the world, probably.
Yeah, that's right. It's a very good experience. Yeah, they come out of it, like very inspired to do more for the country.
You have if you have a really wanting to help community, then it will sustain instead of you alone doing something.
Exactly.
Okay, so then you said you approached Magic, is it?
Yeah. So initially, I was told of the problem. I had a solution in mind, to build a platform that crowdfunds, so they'll get the funds for the teachers, right?
Okay.
And so. At the same time,
crowdfunding is one way for you to raise money to do your work.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And so at that time, Magic was launching their first cohort of their social enterprise accelerator.
Magic SE.
So Magic SE. So basically, I thought let's apply to those guys and see what
try.
happens.
Let's try.
Yeah, let's just try. And just to reach out and see what can happen, right?
All
So
right.
we applied and we got in. And Magic helped us a lot to launch the platform, connect us to mentors, connect us to people who would fund us. So it was great help. Yeah.
Were any of these people actually related to education? More of a tech and business support.
You mean in Magic?
Yeah.
Okay, so so Magic was wonderful. So within the social enterprise accelerator, they actually managed to get mentors from the education.
Wow.
Field. So
that
people
was
who are already working in education, also people who are already funding education.
I
so
see.
It was like instantly connected with the ecosystem. Yeah.
That accelerated your
Super
growth.
helpful. Yeah.
Okay.
Literally accelerated us. Yeah.
So you were an accelerator, right? Okay. So could you share how many projects you have done supported through 100% projects?
Yeah. So the last year and a half since we launched, we've helped out around 80 schools out there. And
in the last 1 year?
Yeah, 80 schools out there and raised almost like 800,000.
6 to 7 schools a month. 800?
800,000.
800,000, man. Woo!
Yeah.
I think everyone from Malaysia should thank Andrew.
No, thank you for the public for their support for the teachers.
Thank you, public. Keep supporting.
All we did was basically tell the teachers' stories, and then, but it was mainly the help of everyone chipping in. Yeah.
Right. Because I think more people should be doing things like this instead of complaining. Right?
It's funny how you said that, because when I came back 3 years ago, one of the first things that I thought was that Malaysians complain a lot.
Right. I think we're just taught to complain. From small, that's not right, this is not right, instead of actually go and fixing it.
Yeah.
And then it's that's not my job, that's that guy's job.
Yeah. So I do hope that people, instead of complaining, actually do something about it.
Yeah. Even if it's a small thing, just start, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It starts from yourself, right?
Right.
The man in the mirror.
Change just starts from within.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So you have 80 projects, 800,000. That's 10,000 per project around there. So like once you get the money, the raise, and you say the project is successful, like on this page you see like there's like 2 successful projects already.
Yeah.
What happens after that? I've given my part and all that. I've done it.
So when you donate to the project, right?
Okay.
So we already keep track of your email. So you have given us the email.
All right.
And so as the project progresses and it gets executed, we keep track of it to make sure that the money is spent properly. And
so how do you give it to the person responsible, like the person in charge?
Yes. So there are things that we do to make sure that the money is looked after, right? So when we disperse the money to the teachers, we don't disperse directly to the teachers.
Okay.
But that's dispersed to the PIBG.
Okay.
So we get the PIG, the school community, to actually be
Student
accountable to
Parents Teachers Association. And then they handle the money.
Well, at least their eyes are on the money.
Okay.
And so
instead of the school.
teachers would spend the money, in a responsible way. Hopefully.
All right. Okay. So like after that, do you like track the progress and like make probably a video or something like that?
Especially the larger ones. We definitely try to communicate. Basically, the way that I see what our role is to really just tell the story. Tell the story of the teacher. So it's very important as part of telling the story to basically video what happens to the funds. Tell the story of the teachers' efforts and their commitment to the students. So definitely keep track of the program.
Have anyone come back for a second round?
For sure. We actually encourage it because if you've done the first round,
it's not enough.
It means that you're committed, and you're responsible with the funds that the public has entrusted to you. And so it's like in startup world, right? I mean, if you've raised funds and you've
use
raised
it
a
wisely,
successful startup, I mean, you're more attractive to invest the next round, right?
Yes. So like, what do you think about you guys, like from the teacher's perspective, from the student's perspective, like?
Very positive. Positive. Actually, we actually get a lot more applications than we can fund. So we actually have a very stringent vetting process. So
someone goes through what they're using it for.
Correct. We actually
what would you like turn down, like straightforward?
We actually turn down a lot of them because
what would be like a red tape right there?
Well, it's not actually a red tape. It's more like we want you to show us that the funds are used to enrich the learning experience. So, I mean, we don't mind teachers applying for a lot of projectors, tables and chairs and all that. But you got to show us how it's going to enrich the learning experience with the students. So normally we push back a lot on that point.
I saw that projector project.
Yeah, you see a lot, but and at the end, it's what they need. We can't avoid that. But the thing is, you got to show us how much
the
more
impact of it.
Exactly.
All right. So okay. As many of y'all would have known or seen that Andrew is going to be sharing 5 things to know before you start a startup.
Yeah.
Even the aim of VspireLab is to like teach people what to do before they start a startup, because everyone thinks it's cool to run a startup. It's going to be easy. They're going to be rich in the next 3 months. So Andrew here is going to share something that's like a little contrary to that.
Okay, so I've got some top 5 here.
Wow, you actually like?
No, I just made brief notes, so I don't forget. Yeah, so so I thought about it, and then and given I mean the audience, they're young people, fresh grads, and they're looking for how they fit into society, what they should do after, right? So actually, my first advice would be, having done this for a while, this is not my first startup, is that
Number one.
You don't have to do a startup.
Exactly. Many people get it wrong.
Exactly. I mean,
nope, I want to be a startup founder.
Exactly. Don't leave your job.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Do it on the side hustle or something.
Exactly. If you want to contribute to society, there are various ways of doing it. Not just a startup. And also, if you want to be financially well off,
you could volunteer at a hospital, at a school, or something.
Yeah, exactly. And even with an incapacity in your role in a company, let's say you work in Maxis, right? You can still in Maxis influence the company to make decisions that are more socially responsible.
Yes.
So I mean, there are various ways to contribute, and a startup, even though it's a bit of a craze right now, it's not the only way. So, I mean, if you are young, especially, and you don't have the life experience to make startups are hard, and you have to you have to have very good judgment,
And
so when you're young, I think you can gain a lot by working in a big company, where
learning and gaining experience.
You learn how big companies work, You learn how to talk to clients. You know how to navigate people.
Right.
And you
communication
get the chance,
skills.
Yeah, exactly. And and then when you're in a big company, you get to meet a lot of colleagues. And colleagues who have a lot of things.
They might have connections as well.
Exactly. And with whom you can later on do startups with,
Trust.
Yeah.
And
because startups, it's all about team, So if you don't have the right
it's not a
people
one-man
doing things
show.
Yeah, exactly. And if you look at a lot of success stories in startups, right? They are co-founders who have met in a professional setting as well.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. They might have worked in a project before.
Yeah. I mean, if I were to give advice, is to just to consider going to work in a big company just to learn all the things that you can learn from them.
But nowadays, like even in college, they have all these courses saying like be your own boss. As soon as even while in college, it's okay. They start selling things online and all that. But when it comes to starting a startup, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
Not selling an e-commerce. Thing.
You have to realize that successful startups is the exception.
Exception. Yes.
Most cases, if you start, especially right out of college, it's very likely that you are going to fail. I mean, it's still one way, but it's not the only way.
It's not the only way.
Maybe even not the best way. Depends. Yeah, takes a lot of luck, right?
Yeah. Thinking about that, you can actually like over the years, like if you're given a department to manage some funds in a big corporate, you can even do like a corporate social responsibility project that actually gives a bigger impact than running like your own startup like this.
Yeah, it's an important point, and especially in the startup space now. I think there's still a lot of opportunities in the B2B space where your consumers are businesses, right? So how do you then understand the problems of businesses if you never lived or worked in a business?
Right.
So it's such a valuable experience to work inside a big corporate.
True that.
So that's my first point. Don't leave your job yet. Just consider.
You don't have to start a startup.
Exactly. To
second
be rich
point.
or make an impact. Yeah. And if you want to start a social enterprise, secondly is that you have to be passionate in the cause. It has to be a problem worth solving. So for me, and I was lucky in a way that I landed on education. Actually, before I started this, I've always wanted to start my own school eventually, right? But then, and I've always been of the view that education is one of the areas where you can impact a lot of other things. I mean, if you want to look at environmental problems, you need engineers, great engineers to solve that. You want to find a cure for cancer, you need great doctors and scientists to research and do that. And if you want to make social changes, you need forward-thinking, visionary, progressive politicians, right? And where do they come from? From a great education experience. So a lot of these things that you want to solve at the end comes from the quality education.
Actually, thinking about this, like back then, the Greeks emphasized the value of education. From there, you had the best philosophers, the best engineers, the best astronomers.
Exactly.
It came from the education system.
Exactly. So for me, education has always been super important, and because I have the opportunity to contribute to it, I jumped into it straight away. It's a no-brainer, And
you had the right opening though. Your friends were from the education background, and you submitted the application, and then you got accepted. Everything just turned out well.
Exactly. So that was good. So that's the second part.
Be passionate. Another thing.
And work on a problem worth solving.
Okay.
Third is for social enterprises. What I see is that people forget that there's two parts: social and enterprise, right? And I'll say that
it is still enterprise.
Yeah, that enterprise is still important because it's what will keep you sustainable, right?
Yes. And you don't burn out.
Exactly. So what I do see is that is that if you're a business, then the sales and marketing is super important. The customers are super important. So you can't neglect that.
Like how you attract the right customers, taking care of them.
Exactly. I find in this sector, people are very good at doing the social part well, the grassroots thing very well.
They forget the business aspect of it.
And that's the hard part. The business part is the hard
then
part.
They blame the model, saying it's not working.
Well, you got to be also look after the business part, right? So.
Will it be good to, let's say, hire someone just from business side to take care of that aspect of it?
Yeah, that could be one way.
He doesn't need to be someone who likes social enterprise so much, but he's a business-minded person.
Yeah, sure, could be. I mean, it goes back to the team, the quality of the team. So focus on the marketing, sales and marketing, and if you want to focus on sales and marketing, you got to be a good storyteller. I think one of the greatest asset of a social enterprise is the story, And if you can tell your story well, then you can sell your product and service.
You move a person's emotion.
Yeah, it's like
I need to help this guy.
Yeah. So third is that
third is
that the business has to come first, I reckon. Yeah.
No, I don't think it's actually first, but it has to be up there.
It has to be up there. Well, it has to be as good as your good part.
Right.
Fourth part, I've touched on this a lot, is that it's your team,
Team.
So
know your team members.
Exactly. With most ventures, it's not a one person. It's not a one person job. You see in a lot of movies, it's always about the hero, right? The Rambo, right?
Jobs.
But the thing is, yeah, exactly. But the thing is, if you look at Jobs and the people under him,
they are just like as
he has a good team.
Yes, right.
Yeah. So. I think we've done pretty well so far with 100% project because the team we have is so solid.
You say like you have 6 people.
Yeah.
And you're like managing like 80 projects and close to $1 million in funds.
Yeah, we have a very.
How do you like give everyone a job? Do they have a specific job? Like you do this?
Well, at the end we have to divide the roles. But the thing is, when you have a good team, everyone complements each other.
Right.
In terms of skills and aptitude, personality. And so I can't emphasize enough how important a good team is. So before you start, you got to make sure you have great co-founders, a great team before you go in.
So like coming back to the passionate, every one of them has to have the same passion or.
Well, not just passion, but similar values. Because
I want to help someone.
Yes, and that will help in resolving conflicts because when you work in a team, you're going to have disagreements.
Of course.
And you have different visions of where do you take the company.
But when the higher purpose is guiding you, you kind of forget of the smaller things.
Makes things a lot easier.
Right.
It's like a marriage, right? If you have similar values and passions in the partner,
you're touching sensitive area, man.
No, seriously, it's like a marriage.
All right.
Basically.
Okay.
And that's fourth one, team. And fifth,
go ahead.
Go quickly, yeah. So fifth is.
No, we got time, man. Go ahead.
Right.
Explain more if you want.
So fifth is just to be aware of the resources out there, to reach out, because.
What does it mean? Like resources as in your side or like what's outside?
Outside, basically. So we reached out for the grant for Magic, and Magic helped us reach out to mentors, investors, and when we started telling our story, people reached out to us, So I guess when you're starting out as any kind of entrepreneur, like I guess it's an extension of the team thing, So you got to reach out to people who will do it with you, and then you do it, extend a bit further, and reach out to the public. And there are a lot of programs out there that they're out there to assist you. A lot of grants, accelerators like Magic. It's only one of many accelerators out there.
But Magic is like dedicated to social enterprise. They have a separate division.
Yeah. So I think reach out, apply to as many of these grants and programs as you can. Start telling your stories online so that you allow people to reach out to you to help you out. So definitely, the fifth one would be to reach out.
Reach out. So reaching out has like so many components to it, right?
Yeah, start telling your story. Don't be private. Just be shameless. Be shamelessly public about your cause. Telling your story and be.
I think to help that, a valid case that you have actually studied and how you have helped would be much more helpful. You have like a case that I've sponsored 1,000 ringgit, and this is how it changed 40 students' lives.
Yeah. So definitely. Part of reaching out is basically bring people along with in your journey. So
constantly updating them.
Yeah, we've been quite active on social media. Basically, we have a lot of projects. So whenever a project comes along, we tell the teacher story, what motivates them. When they execute their project, we tell them about the progress. So definitely bring
progress, how you use the funds, fund allocation, because. Money is something like people are kind of tied up to. So if you misappropriately use them, then people don't gonna hate you for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, for sure. Especially in our platform, trust is the core of it. So actually, one of the things that we've done quite differently from other crowdfunding platforms is that we actually put all our transactions online. There's actually an Excel spreadsheet that you have access to where all the banking transaction disbursements are actually receipts are actually there. So you can see all the bank receipts that we've done.
Where do I go search for it?
So it's on the bottom of the site. if you go scroll all the way to the bottom, there's a footer here about our 100% commitment. You know, that all the transactions will be transparent. If you click on it,
I didn't know that is a link.
well, it's not a marketing thing, so we don't make it prominent, but it's accessible. You know, so there's an Excel spreadsheet with all the projects and all the amounts that we've funded, and then if you go to the right-hand side, there's the links to Google Drive documents, and there's like a bank slip for every transaction. You know? So you can see the account number, name of and the amounts of.
That's some pretty big amount of money, man.
Yeah.
All right. I think you forgot something.
Yes.
Everyone out there, all our viewers, if you're really interested in joining a social enterprise,
All right, that's right.
Mr. Andrew here is actually hiring.
Yes, so we are actually launching a new product very soon. So we're actually in the process of hiring. Yeah, so
a new product.
If you're passionate about education, do reach out to me, and we'll see what we can do, whether there's a good fit. Yeah.
So would you mind sharing more about your new product?
Yeah, sure. So after a year and a half of basically interacting with teachers, right, and teachers telling us of the problems they have on the ground and where they need help, we're launching a kind of a teacher support platform.
Okay.
And the teacher support platform is called EdSpace.
EdSpace.
So the website is actually already up. It's called edspace.my. Yeah, so
EDSPACE.my.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a platform for teachers to basically reach out to get support on their day-to-day teaching activities.
Okay.
For example, they want to plan a lesson. They want to get new resources and materials for their classroom. Get tips on how to manage the classroom.
Is it like a Facebook for teachers?
Well, they can't. It's kind of like a platform where they can
forum?
get help. It's like a virtual. Well, we have different features, right? One of the features is a virtual chat feature where they can reach out to our chat platform.
Okay.
And it's like, have you heard of Super Hands? Or,
yeah, definitely.
It's like a Super Hands for teachers, basically. So one of the feature is a Super Hands for teacher, where they reach out to help them with like repurposing an existing lesson plan. For example. One of the requests was, we've already tested it with a bunch of teachers. So one of the requests was, you know, they already have a lesson plan for a higher performing English class, right?
Okay.
And they're now teaching a lower grade class, and they want to
get to that high level class.
Yeah, repurpose the lesson plan so that they can teach that lesson to a lower class.
Okay.
And so they don't have time to do that. They're very busy. And so one of our guys would basically, you know, rewrite the rest of the lesson plan for them. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. A teacher support platform. And in the future, we're going to have like a network of mentor teachers. So teachers who have taught for many years and
maybe retired teachers as well.
Retired teacher, exactly. The retired Cikgu Cemerlang, you know, for example.
Like,
and then you can reach out to
as they grow older, they get better at it.
Exactly.
And then at the peak of their career, you stop them and say, go home, go take care of your grandchildren.
And the thing is that they're still passionate about it. It's just that they can't devote that the full time.
Of course, not that much.
But they can still give advice to the younger teachers. That's what we want to build a platform to provide that kind of service.
Wow.
Because I mean, there are 400,000 teachers in Malaysia right now.
400,000.
Exactly. The thing is, if you can raise the teaching quality of all these cohort of teachers, the amount of impact you can make on generations of students is humongous. You know?
Actually, many people right now, the youths, are not so interested to join the teaching force.
Yeah,
so
that's one of the problems.
If they looked at their teachers being so excited, enthusiastic about their job, and how committed they are.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I see, right? If you join a company like PwC, like a professional firm, they have like very structured professional development programs for them. You know? Like every year, there's like incentives, professional development activities.
Yes.
But we want to bring that to the teaching profession, so that it's like a profession that's more a professional. You know what I mean?
Because I think they're the first people who get to shape a person.
Exactly, and the role that they play is just so much more important. You know, we say that a doctor may save one life, you know, but a teacher saves an entire generation.
Right.
Think about it.
So what you're doing is, I would say noble, man. What you're trying to do.
It's necessary. I think.
It's necessary. Yeah. So do you encounter some challenges?
Challenges
in starting this?
Well,
of course.
every day, man.
every day, like what? Handling a team of 6 people.
Yeah, there, of course, like this day-to-day grind of managing work, the team, you know, managing, you know, the users in the platform, you know, and you know, But and also managing finances. You have to constantly think about staying alive. To actually be able to do this work.
What if one day everyone stops giving you? It's going to be a problem.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, well, that's the job, right? You have to maintain. You have to keep engaging the public. That's for sure.
Engaging, reaching out.
Yeah.
Have you tried going into like newspapers or something?
Oh, we have been on newspapers already.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's always in the background.
Because I think that's the most read media outside of this community.
Well, increasingly, more and more eyeballs are on social media. So we do put, and it's tends to be easier to be on social media. So we do have an emphasis to be on social media.
Okay. Because like if you're on social media, you can just link it up to your bank account and then directly do the transfer and just on the phone under 5 minutes done.
Exactly. Yeah.
Alright. So what's your future plans like next year?
So
besides AdSpace.
Yeah. So it will be pretty much just AdSpace. So we're going to maintain the 100% project platform. I mean that's going to run sustainably.
That's a separate business model already. So now
So and we're gonna be going big and focusing on this new product at Space.my.
Okay.
But the 100% project will always be there, available for teachers to use.
I think that it has to be there to support the current school academic programs and everything. It has to be there.
Yeah.
Could you suggest a few projects that people out there could raise funds for?
Yeah. So I mean, if you go on our website, on the homepage, you can see our recommended projects.
But like me, right? I've already given money for one guy going on a tour to a zoo or something. I don't want to give money to the same guy, same kind of project again.
Well, you will get a lot of variety of projects here.
Right.
So I mean, one of the more marginalized communities in Malaysia are Orang Asli.
Yes.
So we have helped out a couple of projects in the Orang Asli community, and here's another one that's active right now, and which you can help out. So
it's still open for funding.
Yeah. So if you go to the homepage, and there's a project hosted by Cikgu Zahara.
Cikgu Zahara, yes.
So they're trying to build, basically do up a library in their
library.
school.
Okay.
So I mean, this is just launched, and they're only looking for 3,000 ringgit or so. Yeah. So you can easily help out this teacher here.
Yeah, actually, I would do that later on. Just remind me, man.
Yeah, have a go.
Remind me to do that.
Sure.
Okay, and besides that, what are other kind of projects can they do? Like, if like I'm trying to raise funds for something, not to donate.
Okay.
I'm a teacher.
Okay.
I'm looking for ideas to raise funds.
Right. Okay, so.
Good.
Okay, so there basically there are three kinds of ideas that we raise funds for. So first kind is basically to help you make a more conducive classroom. So
more conducive
if you need,
classroom.
Teaching aids, a special kind of furniture in your classroom to make the whole classroom more
physical
conducive.
production.
Okay. Infrastructure stuff. Go submit that idea to us. We'll be happy to help. But describe how it's going to enrich the classroom experience for the kids, right? So that's
describe
one.
The story you said.
The story, And secondly. We want to help out with field trips, basically to expand the experience.
Field trips.
Basically to expand the experience of the child, right? Sometimes the kid would have been raised up in their own community, they never leave the community, and we really support kids leaving the community to reach out, to go to this. For example, we've helped out many kids in the kampung rural areas. They've never visited KL, and we've helped them come to KL.
They just see it in books by someone drew it out of freehand. Someone drew KL. Twin Towers and Menara
But
KL.
you can't imagine the kid growing up in a fishing village to suddenly see the vastest of opportunities in KL.
Right.
The towers, going to the university campus, going to the aquarium. It just totally opens up the mind to the immediate community. So we help teachers organize these kind of field trips.
Okay.
And then thirdly, any kind of innovative teaching initiatives, So
innovative teaching.
So if you want to organize like a robotics workshop, teaching coding to the classroom, sending your kids to like a robotics competition out there, any kind of innovative teaching thing, like even like a peer-to-peer reading program, English reading program. We're super happy to help with that. Yeah.
So you said like physical amenities.
field trips,
and innovative teaching,
creative teaching ideas.
All right, I think we have a question from Mr. Karthik Karnanidhi. Wow, this guy is super crazy intelligent. Yeah, he got a double degree, man, like law and econs. Okay, TFM, Teach for Malaysia.
Thanks,
Yep,
Karthik.
check it out. Okay, why his question, Mr. Karthik's question right now? Why did you end up starting a new platform for teachers? And how do you juggle your current business of crowdfunding for teachers and launching this new platform?
Okay.
He said you're gonna if you have two things to look into, you might miss out on one.
Oh no, well the thing is the crowdfunding platform right now we've developed into a stage where it's pretty much autopilot, So
crowdfunding is autopilot.
So it sustains itself. I mean, we do have a bit of funds that helps it run to continuously run. So I mean that's going to always happen in the background, and then we're going to.
Do you take like a small cut out of that? A small percentage just to maintain yourself.
The way that we keep it sustainable is that whenever someone donates, we ask them to donate additional percentage on top. So to keep our service running, to help us with vetting the teachers' applications and all that.
So like one person actually just takes care of that.
Right now we only need one person looking after that.
I guess so, because like if you have 10 projects a month, is still you can take care of it.
Exactly.
Once you have like more projects, then you might need another one. So like, if you're going to develop the new platform, is it going to like take a lot of your resources?
Yeah, so that's why we're hiring.
So what are you looking for? What kind of person are you looking for?
Okay, so if you are, first you got to be passionate about the course, right? The education experience. But then the thing is, we also want you to be versatile. It's a small team out there. So someone who can
multitask,
basically, and be able to be smart, intelligent. And the thing is,
that's something you can't teach.
Ideally, if you have education background, then all the more better. But it's not a requirement that we can train.
As long as you're passionate, man, you can learn everything.
Yes. Well, generally, for me, I look for people who are intelligent first of all, and secondly, who have the grit.
I think the way I look at it is someone who's like intelligent, you can teach him anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And because we're a small team, you need to fit into our culture as well. So that's important as well.
Okay. Will you be like separating two entities or like on the same office going to be handling both the platforms?
We're operating this under the same company.
All right. So we have finished our live question. Only one. Anyone else? No one else. My friend is there. Hello, Kishan. How are you? That's my friend. Kenneth was here. All right. We are going to the question of the day.
Okay.
So viewers, we have a question every week. So this is our 5th week. Mr. Andrew will be asking one question. We'll be posting the question again down under our post. So the guy with the most right answers will win a prize at the end of our 8th episode. Okay, Andrew, do you remember the question? Or?
Yeah, so basically the question is, on our platform, what was the first project that was ever fully funded?
Fully funded, not beginning funding.
Yes.
Which is the first project that got fully funded under 100% projects?
Yes.
All right, anything else? Okay, one take-home message for anyone like our viewers about social enterprise or even about passion, about life.
Yeah, I guess so. I was thinking about this, right? So your demographic, your audience is basically
quite
people,
like youths, 20 to 30.
Yeah. So I was thinking back about my youth, right? What advice I would give to myself when I was younger, right? And I think when I was younger, I was very anxious about how I fit into the world. What I should be doing. You're anxious about, because you just graduated.
Dude, you're too young to think about all that.
Well, for me anyway, when I graduated, I was really anxious about what to do with my life. Which job should I take? What I should do. And so
maybe is that why you got a double degree?
Yes, exactly. So I would say to not be anxious, to basically, for now that I've got hindsight, right? So to really just relax and just focus on building yourself, making sure that you're constantly learning, and making sure that you're reaching out and exposing yourself to
constantly learning. Yes.
Because these things take you preparing yourself and takes luck as well.
Definitely.
And how does luck come by? It comes by from you reaching out and exposing yourself to opportunities out there, and that's by
the way I see luck is by numbers.
Yeah.
The more trials, the less.
Exactly. More trials, right? You got to reach out, talk to mentors, making as many new friends as you can, exposing yourself to different experiences, you know, and keep on learning, you know. And then one day everything will click. You meet the right idea, the right people, right opportunity, right customers coming along, you know.
And you grab that opportunity.
And then you're prepared because you know you've been building yourself, learning skills and how to present, learn how to present, learn how to speak publicly, you know, learn the hard skills like, you know, learn how to model financial models, do marketing.
So you have prepared yourself all this while for this. What they used to say, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Exactly. So for me, I'll tell myself, don't be anxious, just chill out. Chill out.
Fail once, stand up again. That's it.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's it. Okay, I think that's all from you.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. We're at the end of our 5th episode. Don't forget to tune in next week, 22nd of July. We have our friend, my personal friend Khalil, who will be sharing about his property management platform, and his startup is called Property Parrot because he has a parrot named Abu.
All right.
You know from Aladdin?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's it. All right. Tune in again tomorrow. Next week, guys. See y'all. Have a good weekend. Don't do anything stupid. Bye.
All right.